Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with ReadyNet Solutions. Today's host is Bill Pedersen. He is their Voice Product Director. He'll be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, please put them in the question box, and Bill will answer them at the end of today's presentation. Thank you so much for being with us today, Bill. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it over.
Julie, thank you very much, and thanks for everyone for attending today's seminar. And hopefully at the end of this, you'll find some educational information regarding ReadyNet and some of the products and services that we offer for internet service providers. Today, we're going to talk about a new product, the ReadyNet AC1200M. And the AC1000M and the AC1000MS. Now, the M product is our managed product, and our MS product is our managed product with SIP services. Basically, the differences between the two is one comes with SIP and the other product does not. But today we're going to talk about managed routers and how it applies to this new AC1000 family of products as well too. Just this past WISPAPalooza 2017 in Las Vegas, we did do a new product announcement for the AC1000. The AC1000 is a unique router. It's an AC Wi-Fi router with fast Ethernet ports on it, and the optional SIP port. Actually get two SIP trunks on it, and it has a USB port on it as well for attached storage within the home. The AC1000 router combines all these feature sets into one device. The great thing about it is, for internet service providers that don't provide large bandwidth in excess of 100 megabit, can take advantage of a very good cost-effective router solution that they can manage from their office and their customer support desk for their customers. A couple of things we'll go through on the AC1000 is this is an 802.11 AC format, so you get the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz radios in this. So you can see transmission speeds up to about 1200 megabits per second on this device. And keep in mind, we have fast Ethernet on the Ethernet port, so you know you're going to be around 94 megabits, a little overhead on that, so about 94 megabits of throughput on that as well. Now, the two SIP ports that we offer, you can configure these up to just about any voice services that you have. You can use an asterisk-based voice services. You can use Metaswitch voice service. You can also use a BroadSoft platform as well and provide registration. One of the great things about these FXS ports is if you've got a customer that is utilizing a home office type environment, you could use one of the lines as a fax line, which supports the fax services, the T.38 fax protocol as well. Or you could just use them for voice services. What I'm showing here right now, this is our data sheet, and you can actually pull this data sheet from ReadyNetSolutions.com, and then just go under Service Provider, and you can pull the AC1000 data sheet down for your convenience. The other features that we offer, we have a USB port on the back of it. This is great for storage and or printer functionality. We do all of our management through an ACS service, which I'll show you a demo of that here shortly. But we primarily use the TR069 protocol. There's two advantages for this service. It allows you to manage the router and make changes to the router from your desktop portal. And it can also be used for provisioning. So we can actually pre-provision a router before it goes out. So let's say we have a work order for a customer. Maybe you've gathered some additional information on what they would like their SSID to be or their passphrase to be. So when your technician goes out to do the installation, they can just plug in the router, and the router will then check in with the ACS server, download its recent configuration that was put into the system, and it just helps on setup times for the technician and your customer. Once that has taken place, you just go online with your cell phone or your computer. You'll see the SSID and you'll have the passphrase, and you can register devices fairly quickly. On the back part of our data sheet, just simple general specs that you can see. We're not going to go through every one of these. But some of the things that I want to kind of bring out is the SIP features. This is kind of unique in a sense that, usually when we talk about voice calls, we rely a lot on the service provider, but as long as I'm providing dial tone to that SIP account, I have all these other additional built-in features for that customer as well. Echo cancellation, three-way conference calling if the carrier service provider provides for that. But call hold, call forwarding, call transfer, call waiting, caller ID, all that information we build into that SIP port as well also. All of our products come with a 1-year limited product warranty against defects on the product. If you have any questions or concerns on warranties, you just give our customer support a call and they can take care of you. Let's go over to, I'm gonna go over to RN Control here. Should see this, and I'm actually borrowing one of my customers' admin portals because they actually have an AC1000M on their portal. And we're going to just go in. So typically, let me just go through this real quickly, just for those that might have not seen this before. RN Control is the management, the visual of the ACS server. So it's talking to our ACS server, it's gathering the information that the router is talking to the ACS, and then it's going to put it in a usable format so you can easily understand what's going on with the router. And to just add a router, basically you can just put in the customer name or however you identify that individual, put in the serial number, put in the MAC address, click on add, and the router will then go in and check in. So we've got this golden spike router we're going to take a look at here. You just click on view router, and it's going to go and get some information for us. So the first thing I want to see is I want to see that the router is checked in and the last time it has sent its information in. So you'll notice it's telling me that last time it checked in was 3 hours and 4 minutes ago. 1 minute and 55-second uptime. Not sure what's happened with this router over at this customer, but obviously they did a power cycle not too long ago on it. But on here, I can also see the connected devices. We'll have all these various tabs here that we can gather information. Now, this is a very small customer. They only have 3 things attached to it. They have their Polycom IP phone that's set up on it. They have a desktop computer. It looks like a Dell. We're doing some reverse MAC lookups. And then Todd also has an iPhone that's connected to it wirelessly and gives us some signal strength on which band he's connected to, the 2.4, and it looks like minus 75 dBm. So looks like he's probably out in the warehouse or a little bit further away from the router. And then we can also see that the computer is also connected via Ethernet. Not sure why the phone's not connected at this time, but good information that if a customer said, hey, I've got a IP phone that's not registering here, this is how they would look that up, and they could say, yep, looks like it is inactive, and make the corrected adjustments for this device. On our next tab, we have our router configuration. This gives us information about the wireless settings, our remote access settings, and also our local area network settings as well too. It's kind of interesting. If we look over here, we get a customer that calls in. They've set up their 2.4 gigahertz SSID as Gold Spike 24, and then they've also got their it's like a 10-digit number for their passphrase that's on there. They've also got their 5 gigahertz, and they identified that, and they've used the same passphrase on there. So if a customer says, hey, I forgot it, and you can't see it here, basically all you have to do is just go in and click on the passphrase reminder, and last saved is what we call it, and it'll pop up in the box there. Now, right now, they have their remote management disabled, but here's their IP address. If they were to go in and enable this and change their management passphrase, come down here and save this and then reboot the router, this would then become a mouse over hyperlink, and you would just click on this and it would actually log you into the router. You type in your management username and your passphrase. If we didn't know what that is, we can look that up. This one's telling us unknown, so there's probably not a passphrase assigned to this right now. And
Hey, Bill, Julie here. Can you hear us? Or me? Seems like we may have lost audio. Let's double check.
Cameras and that in a business. Router limit that's used by a company that does content management. And we'll do a future webinar on router limits and content management that you can offer as a service for your customers, and you can also enable with the product as well. A lot of times we run into issues where we have Wi-Fi issues. We're going into a multi-dwelling unit, or we're in an area that's very populated with Wi-Fi routers, and we need to take a look and see what's going on. We can actually run a Wi-Fi scan in the area here and get some information of what's going on. Now the great thing is this is on channel 10 for the 2.4 and 36 for the 5 gigahertz. And as we did our scan on this one, we see that we've got 2 of them that are out there. One's on 44 and one's on 53, but it's not causing any interference here. If we had found that these are on the same frequencies, or we've got a bunch of them, it's going to tell us what channel we should select. We can mouse over on, say, best channel and actually apply that policy to this router, which is a nice feature. Diagnostics. This is one that I like. We're going to run, I'm going to run a download test here, and we're going to run a ping test here as well. But if a customer's complaining about speed tests, this is a great way of finding out what's happening on their network. So we've submitted the speed test for the router, and it's going to go keep in mind, we just submitted this to the ACS. Now the ACS is going to go tell the router to run a speed test and then report back to the ACS. And once the ACS has that information, it'll update it here on the screen. So kind of with a, I don't want to call it a man in the middle, but it's a man in the middle with the ACS server that's going to help us control and manage the router and show us the results here at the end. The other thing is we can run some ping tests. So if we want to see if we've got some latency going on, we can run these ping tests here. Now, interesting enough, I can run these two ways. Right now, it's defaulted for google.com, which is going to be an off-net test. But if I wanted to run an on-net test, I could go over to my router config. There's my local WAN IP address. I could put that one in or another on-net IP address in there and just type that in there, 192.168.11. Yeah, we'll just call it. Let's see, let's go over to connected devices. Let's see what we got here. We've got one at 11 there. Let's check that one. Let's see if we can do that one. So we'll go back here, type in 11. And we'll run a ping test as well too. And then this will tell us, okay, what's going on network versus off net, and can we help diagnose any information or glean any information from that could help us troubleshoot and help identify what's going on with the product, or with the services, I should say. So once the ping test is submitted, it'll come back, it'll update, tell us what our ping time was, average, and also if we had any packet loss during that test as well too. The last tab is our just general information. This is going to tell us about the product, the LAN and WAN MAC address, serial number if we need that, but primarily this is the kicker, is okay, what firmware are we working on, and you know, has there been a firmware update out there that we need to consider and take a look at. So, but yeah, this is kind of what the management will look like. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of different routers in here that you know, you can manage and take care of. But yeah, so go back to our data sheet. That's a little bit about the management provisioning. We also do auto provisioning through TFTP, HTTP, or HTTPS, and through Tier 69. From an RN control perspective, if a router has not checked in, we can go into a pre-management configuration page. Let's hope maybe one of these might be a new one that they haven't deployed yet. But we can go into a pre-configuration page and actually add information to the device and actually pre-configure it from here if we don't have any other type of method or means to do that provisioning. So with that, I'm going to open it up back to Julie and see if we have any questions regarding today's presentation.
Thank you very much, Bill, for that wonderful presentation. I appreciate it, and it looks like I do have a couple of questions for you. Let's get started with this one here that says, what is the possible turnaround time for a replacement of the product when utilizing the warranty? Would you happen to know?
There's a couple of things. If you don't have any inventory on stock, I mean, we'll definitely work and turn that around very quickly. Typically, most ISPs will at least have some inventory on stock, so they'll at least just pull out the other one. You just go in and update the information on the customer side of things, and you got your router. Once we have issued the RMA, we'll send out advanced replacements for you typically within 24 hours. If we can get it out that day for you, we will do our best to get it out that day.
Thank you very much for that. I got another question here for you. Is the RN Control portal free of charge? Bill, it looks like we lost you on that. Can you possibly repeat, please?
Julie, I can hear you now. Could you repeat that last question? Okay.
Certainly, certainly. Is the RN control panel free of charge?
Great question. The RN control panel is not free of charge. There's actually a domain cost. So what you're seeing here is $49 a month, and I can add devices as I need to. There is a device cost in addition to that at 50 cents per device that you add to RN control. Now the management part of it, I can go in and add as many users as I want to from within my company, and there's no cost for users. But there is a portal cost of $49 a month plus 50 cents per device. And right now, ReadyNet is running a promotion for the first 100 devices you get for free. So there is no portal cost and there is no device cost on that for the first 100 devices. Once you hit 100 devices, then there will be then that's when the billing cycle will kick in place.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Bill, can you tell us a little bit about where the products are manufactured?
So manufacturing is done out of our China facility. We have a factory in Shenzhen and also in Beijing that does all of our manufacturing. All of our engineering and development work is done right here in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Excellent. Can you give us an overview on support regarding customer service or tech support?
Yeah, customer service and tech support can be handled a number of ways. So if you have, let's say, just engineering support, you can reach out to myself or contact any of your, contact Microcom. And they can actually arrange to reach one of our engineers if it's an engineering technical lead type question, or you can reach out to Bill Pedersen at ReadyNet Solutions, which is kind of right there. And I'd be more than glad to help out with any technical questions. But make sure you contact your Microcom representative as well. Also, it's always good to keep them up to speed on the questions because 9 times out of 10, technical questions, once they get resolved, lead into sample units being shipped out so you can get those qualified on your network, and we'll run that all through Microcom to do that for you.
Excellent, thank you. I know you mentioned the promotion, but is there a minimum order that we need to be aware of?
No minimum orders. Typically, our case sizes are between 10 and 20 units, depending on the product. And most ISPs are ordering within quantities of 10 at a time, but you can order individually as well. And I know Microcom is set up to handle individual orders as well.
Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate you answering those questions. And I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. And if there are any further questions, of course, please contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. If you wish to view any of products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. Please remember this webinar presentation has been recorded and it will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel. So if you want to view it again, you certainly can. Thanks again. Thank you for your time and your presentation. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Thank you.